Struggling trying to find a way to make your live production look professional using Zoom? You're not alone. Let me show you an easy way how to integrate Zoom into your live productions using Wirecast in order to have a flawless, high-quality production. Hey guys, my name's Mark. 3 years ago, I had a client reach out to me wanting me to find a way to produce their weekly webinars. Now, they were taking a huge step. They were going from audio and slide deck only webinar into a full video webinar. Now, this was also during the age of COVID. So there are a lot of different platforms coming available and consistently changing then as well. So I was tasked with the job of finding the right platform for them. A few key factors: it had to be cheap, it had to be consistent, and it had to be high quality. And after many hours of research and using different setups and tools and functions, I found the best way suited for this company in order for them to produce their weekly webinars. Let's jump in. Now, firstly, there are a lot of methods to do this. I'm not saying this is the only way, but this is the way that worked for me and has worked for my client for the last 3 years ongoing. But before I mention that way, let me show you a couple of alternatives that I researched and looked into before we came up with this. One of them, you could have a separate laptop for each Zoom participant. You simply pin that window, send that into your switcher, and then you go ahead and switch and produce your show from there. You also need to have another laptop in order to send your graphics to that as well. Much bigger setup, much more involved. That was off the table. Next method was using a software program called Zoom ISO. This outputs to the Blackmagic deck link, and then you receive those feeds directly into your switcher. Once again, graphics and everything else. You can actually get 1080 streams doing it this way, and I do love it. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't the best option for this company because it was a big setup, there's a lot of money involved, and that's not what they wanted. Wirecast solved their problem. Now, it all comes down to planning. So let's jump into Wirecast, and I'm going to show you details step by step how I set it up. So maybe there's something you can take from that in your productions. Planning time. Okay, real quick, you need to know the shots. You need to know how many presenters are getting on. Is it 1, 2, 3? Are you the host? Is it an interview back and forth? Is it passing it off from A to B to C? There's so many different ways you can do this, but if you have these templates set up the right way in advance, when it comes time for your live production, it's gonna run smooth as butter. So let's plan out all our shots in advance so we can quickly then drop that into Wirecast and we know we have every base covered. So as far as I'm concerned, there's 3 categories of shots. First category is going to be full screen. Second category, you're going to have split screen. Third category, we're going to have screen share. So this is the slide decks, presentations, graphics, videos, whatever they want to show in their production. Full screen, let's say we have presenter A. Full screen kind of makes sense. They're taking up the full screen, and presenter B, full screen. Now, this might be good if you're just switching from A to B back to A. If there's no graphics, no slideshow, anything else, you're done. Okay, most of the time that's not the case. They even want to show a contact card or a few slides along the way. So, let's get into split screen real quick. Split screen, this is great if you have an interview. You can crop the slides slightly and then show a 50-50, A and B side by side. You can always start here with A. A might be the host, introducing, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our special guest. Okay, this is when we change to the 50-50 shot. They're reading the bio, go ahead, introduce them, and then we cut back to B full screen as they're giving their presentation. And then they may come back to the AB when it comes time for Q&A at the end, so they're asking questions back and forth or having that conversation. Now, screen share. Let's quickly show this. The way I like to do screen share is having a small, let's say, person A with a larger screen share on the side. Now you can put it on the left or the right, doesn't really matter, but generally, rule of thumb, that's how I like to have it. You'd also want to duplicate this for person B and screen share. So now we have person A screen share, person B screen share. What if they were both talking about the screen share at the same time? Well, let's pull them both up there. So third shot, we're going to have A, B, with screen share. Now, I did forget one thing. In the full screen section here, we have A, B, but we also need to bring in screen share as full screen. A lot of times I'll switch to that when it's a detail orientated slide or very small text on the screen. As with these other options, with the A, B, and AB option down here, this can sometimes make the text smaller for the end user to watch. So if it's a detail orientated slide, I'll jump to that full screen and then I'll jump back to the picture-in-picture to give everyone the opportunity to be able to read and see what's on the screen. Now this is as simple as it gets. This is 2 people. Now if there's a third person, okay, sweet. Let's just go in, add person number C. Now here, split screen, we may want to go, okay, 50-50, let's go A and C. Now we also will have to go, okay, let's go B and C to make sure everyone's covered. Now finally, what I love to do is do the rule of thirds where we have A, B, and C on screen at the same time. Very great in live productions. It's kind of like a newscast. You know, you see them kind of heavily cropped in boxes, but they're all on the screen next to each other having that conversation. This works out perfectly as long as people are sitting center in the camera. If they're nervous speakers and they're moving from side to side, they may fall outside that crop window that you have for them. So this may not work in every situation. However, a quick way to get around that is to put them all in full 16:9 widescreen, but just make their boxes smaller on the screen, like this. So we could put A up top here, B and C. And this part that I colored in is simply just the background color or whatever we make it. And then you'd also need to add a few more for the screen share as well in order to incorporate C. Now that we have all our shots planned out, let's jump into Wirecast and quickly set these shots up. Okay, so Wirecast time. Let's jump in real quick and I'll show you how I set up all the layers. So first layer here, I've got them all color coded. We've got blue, the light blue. I like to have anything like logo bugs and countdown timers on there. Not gonna go too much in depth right now. Let's just throw a clock right now. Clock up there, let's have it countdown 2, and let's say 5 p.m. today. All right, we can blow that up, move it up top right, drop a shadow, so many things you can do there. So now we've got something in the first layer. Second layer, I like to put lower thirds. So let's go ahead and drop in a lower third. Let me just search here for titles. Let's see, this one here looks good. Drop it in, make it a little bigger. Let's go subheading number 1. Let's put Mark White, DFW live stream. Okay. Position that however you want it. Boom, now you have a lower third on your second level. This way you can leave any logo bugs or countdown timers up for as long as you need it. You can remove the lower thirds whenever you're ready to. Third layer, this is the important layer. Let's go ahead and put all of our shots in here. So we're gonna put what they call placeholders in there right now. These placeholders hold the place for the Zoom participants to come in later and fill that place. Let me show you what we do. We're gonna start off with the full screen shots. So let's go A, templates, placeholder, and we're just gonna put A right now. So we have A, we're gonna do the same thing, templates, B. What did we plan out? We had 3 people, so let's go templates, and so we're gonna call them A, B, and C right now. This is our full screen shots, so we already have them ready. As soon as person A comes in, boom, we're sending them live, introduce person B, now they're live, and back to A. This is going back and forth. It's like speaker view in Zoom. Now we're gonna set up our split screen. Let's go here, add new template. Let's go back to A, because this one's gonna be A and B. Now in the shot properties up top, let's go ahead and crop that right now. Let's make the left, I don't know, maybe 20, 22, and make the right 22. Just guessing right now. May need to be I'll put 25. Okay, under the shot layers up the top left, you can click that, add plus, shot templates, B, add it. Now let's go ahead and crop B once again as well. 25 on the left, 25 on the right. Let's move that to the side. That actually fits in there perfectly. So now A and B come in, boom. They're both on screen at the same time. They're talking back and forth and they look great with just a slight crop on each side. Now we have a third person we need to work with as well. So let's do that. Okay, so instead of creating it all from scratch again, let's just duplicate what we have. So click the little gear icon, click duplicate shot. Now we have 2 ABs. Click on the second one. This one we're gonna have is A and C. So right click the letter you wanna change, replace layer, templates, C. So now we have A and B and A and C. Last one we need is just going to be B and C. So let's just do the exact same thing, duplicate that, replace layer, template, B and C. So now we have 50-50 shots of all three of them. Actually looks pretty good. Now finally we have the third shot, so it's a little additional setup here. Let's jump in and make it happen. Duplicate A, B. Now we're going to need to crop this more to make them all fit into the screen. So let's go ahead and say 30, 30, and let's make it a little bit smaller there. Let's go here. Oops, 30, 30, and make it smaller. It's about right, same size. Now we'll do the same step here, shot layers. Let's add shots, templates. Let's add C in there. Now let's go to these properties, cropping. We're going to do 30 on the left, 30 on the right. Let's move it over, make it the same size. Looks pretty good. Perfect. So now we have the rule of thirds set up, A, B, and C. So if they're all talking or they all come back on at the very end for a gallery view type chat or Q&A, boom, it's right here in front of you, ready to go. Now let's set up the screen share. I forgot my original step of setting up the screen share in full screen. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to duplicate C, drag it over here, right click, replace layer, templates, and I've already done this before, so let's call it SS, which is short for screen share. So now we have A, B, C, SS, AB, AC, BC, ABC. So we have all these shots already set up. Can you see how simple this is once it is set up to use this and integrate Zoom into it? It does take a little bit to get it set up in advance, but once it's set up, boom, it's a game changer and it's simple to run. Screen share time. Let's go ahead and duplicate screen share, bring it over here. Now my screen share, let's go to properties, bring it down some. I do want to keep that a wide screen. I don't want to add any cropping in there. But once again, we'll go to shot layers, add template A, done. Comes up full screen by default. Let's make that smaller. Let's go ahead and crop the sides in, let's say 20% right now. Center it, that looks pretty good to me. Now we have A, presenter A, speaking with their shared screen share right next to them. Duplicate these real quickly so you can see what I'm doing. Duplicate shot. Let's go in here and change this, replace to B. Duplicate shot, go ahead, right click, replace layer, change to C. So now we have A, B, C. Let's go ahead and duplicate shot. Let's have C there. Let's add A and B back. Templates B. There we have it. So now we have our A, B, and C with the screen share all on at the exact same time. So the background's looking all black, looking all Zoom-like. I don't want to make it like that. I want to lift my game up and I want to add some color to it. So I just downloaded a simple kind of blue haze background. I'm going to drop in the fourth layer. And once we send that live, boom, it's behind there. Go ahead and make it full. Now we have a nice colored background with your Zoom presenters and the ABC and your screen share set up right in front of you. So it's starting to come together. Now I don't have anyone to join a Zoom call with me right now, so I'm just going to quickly set up a call here in Zoom and I'm going to show you how to join the meeting through Wirecast and how to put those presenters into those placeholders. One sec. Okay, so I've got a Zoom call running on my cell phone. Let's go ahead and join it with Wirecast. Go up to the top menu bar, click on Social, Zoom, Join Zoom Meeting. You can log in with your own personal account, or you can just put the meeting info down here or the full link in here. Let's go ahead and put the meeting ID. Great, so as you can see on my screen, there's absolutely no change. You don't even know if you've joined Zoom or not. But watch this. Let's go back to A, person A. Now if we right click on the placeholder, we can go down to, instead of replace layer, you're assigning placeholder. Come across and go down to network. You're going to now see several options what you can do. At the bottom here it says Zoom participant mark white. Let's go ahead and add that. Now, it's added it from my phone. Let's turn that full screen right here. Every time I click on A, it has my own image up there. Mute that. B, obviously nothing's assigned there just yet. Now, this is where it's cool. For the interview, if I assign someone as B, I'm going to have A and B right next to each other, ready to interview or pass it off to each other. Now, as you can see, if I was to share a screen share, let's go ahead and Mark, can you share your screen share with us? Let's share it. So we just do the exact same thing. We designate the screen share window as one of those placeholders. Once again, it's filled me in the ABC layer as well. Crucial now that you go ahead and save this because you've basically got all your templates set up for future streaming. Now there's additional settings in here. I don't know if they fully work or what they actually do just yet, but let me show you real quick. Let's go back to A, send me full screen. If we click on the 3-dot icon up here, it says preferred resolution. At the moment, it's set to 360. Now, we can change that to 720 or 1080. However, I don't know if it fully changes the resolution or not just yet. This may just be a bug within Wirecast. I'm yet to see any solid proof to show it's really increasing the quality or not. Hopefully they fix this in a future update. So the final step, just to put this all together, is just to add your audio. So at the bottom, you can click audio capture, and whatever audio device you may have on there, let's just throw up the Logitech one, right? You've basically got everything. You've got your clock layer and the logo bugs. You've got your lower thirds. You've got all your shots set up right there. You've got any background image. And then at the very bottom layer, you have your audio. So now we can stream this directly from Wirecast. Go to output settings, choose your platform of choice. I love doing it on Vimeo. Keep canvas size, choose your quality, 1080p, match preset. And then you can just authenticate all your credentials from there. I also send this out via an Ultra Studio to my Teradek Prism. This enables me to be able to stream through an external encoder. So why does this all matter? When you take time to set everything up in advance, exactly how you want it, when it comes time for live production, you simply assign those layers and you have all the tools right there at a click of a button. You're really setting yourself up for consistent, high quality live streams. Yes, it does take a bit of planning and implementation up front. Now, I hope I didn't run through it quickly, but you can run back and see how I set up each layer if you have any questions about that. But once everything's in place, you can reuse this again and again, tweak it as needed, add more shots, remove shots, do what suits your production. This is just the layout I use for my productions. And that's really what it's all about. Continually upping your game, continually leveling up your live streams, continually delivering more and more for your clients. So I'd really love to hear from you. Tell me in the chat what you use or the best way you use in order to integrate Zoom into your live productions. Is Wirecast an option for you? How about OBS? How about external options? Let me know in the chat. And check out my other videos where I'm giving a lot of tips and tricks on how to elevate your live stream game. Hopefully see you in the next one.